another unboxing. And this time we have Outgunned. So this is the latest game that's shipped. They're working on other things as we speak, but Outgunned is a cinematic action RPG by Two Little Mice. So previously, Two Little Mice have done household RPG. That was the last thing that we looked at. And the production values on that game were amazing. I still haven't gotten it to the table, but even prior to receiving that, I backed this because I liked what they were doing. They were doing an action game RPG system. Looked like a fun system. D6s and no licensed RPGs, no licensed properties. So you could play basically anything you wanted from kind of Hollywood action movies, and it was just suggestive of that. And I think we have to pay more attention to that. I think the licensed IP thing is getting a little bit out of control, and although there are good games out there, it does kind of take away from the amount of money that these companies have, to put into production values, to put into employing artists and designers to work on their games. So Outgunned. Let's take a look and see what we've got. So my least favorite thing is things that ship with all of these biodegradable peanuts. I think that's what these guys are. Well, maybe not, but the ones that you put in a bathtub and dissolve into a sluice and then send it down the drain. I think that's what most people are using now. So this is going to get everywhere. All right, so that's most of it. Let's see what we've got here. So we've got an action deck. We've got a mini deck. We've got some custom D6s in purple and gold, and we've got the same in red and white. So I think this is for rolling, for the basically the opposed kind of rolling that you're doing to tell the difference. Oh, we've got a ton. I think this is where we went in extra here. A ton of these coins here. Spotlight coins. Yeah, so we got three additional. I guess we come with 6, and we got 3 additional spotlight coins. So we've got a ton. And I think this is a similar mechanic to their previous systems. But yeah, really nice heavy-duty coins. We'll pop those out later. Here's our decks. A bag for all of those dice. A pencil, a regular old wooden pencil with... break this to gain an impossible success when fighting with a pencil. So a John Wick reference. That was at John Wick 2 with the pencil, and a D12 in both of the custom colors of the previous. So we've got D6 and D12. Looks like a dial to keep track of speed. So the speedometer. We've got a little speedometer dial there. Our movie poster. So a poster of the artwork done for the game, which was very very cinematic, very Hollywood style. And now we're getting into the books and things. So here is our very tiny GM screen, but it fits, it's proportional to the books. That's the size we're going to be dealing with. So interestingly, the size, it's not A5 or B5. This is kind of a little bit shorter B5, I believe. I'm sorry, I think it's A4, a little bit shorter A4 size. So not quite a standard kind of one of those European metric paper sizes, but it's nice. It's a nice like digest size, easy to hold. So here is, let's take a quick, here's the kind of Outgunned promo artwork, bailing out high above, hopefully water. But great illustrations. Their studio always has really great illustrators, and then everything, hopefully, that you'll need at a glance for running the game. So a nice little portable, and I think that's going to fit right in here. Oh, yeah, nice. So here, this is great, yeah. It's got a soft touch finish on it. It's got a little bit of, I don't know if this is intentional, a little bit of Scotch tape, as the boxes did as they fell apart. But they did a nice job doing a fake distress. So, of course, this is bigger, much bigger than a VHS tape case, like one of the slip-on cases, but that's exactly what they're trying to recreate here. So nice scuffing on the edges here. So it looks like you pulled it off of a shelf of a crappy rental shop. So yeah, Stretch Goals Volume 1. So everything that we just pulled out, we will put back in here. So this year, get used to being outgunned, and yeah, very movie poster style. The two little mice logo of VHS logo, and yeah, a nice sturdy box, a nice thick sturdy box. And here's our huddle up heroes in a world where ruthless villains plot in the shadows to steal nuclear launch codes and bring entire nations to their knees, where cooks in suits hire personal armies to amass wealth greater than anyone can imagine, where absolute madmen laugh while playing with human lives or blackmail the White House with outlandish demands, and where someone decided to kill the wrong dog. Only a hero can save the day. So here we go. So this is everything that will be in here. So in this box, you will eventually find, it's too bad. I mean, I'm sure the logistics of their fulfillment, this was a cheaper option. And I appreciate that the box was still included, that they didn't just, chuck everything in there and save some space, not sending you an empty box. But our 9 action dice, our 9 killer dice, that's what the purple guys are. The 2 grit dice are the D12s, 3 spotlight coins, which we bumped up to an unusual amount of spotlight coins. Oh, there's 1 bullet die in here somewhere. 2 decks of cards, 2 cinematic posters, the dice pouch, the speedometer, and the killer pencil. Yeah, so everything removed from the top will be housed here. We'll put that all together soon. Here's our GM screen. Oh, here we go. And the nice thing that they did was wrap all the books together. I found it. So here's our D6 bullet die. So that just rolls kind of like a pencil, if you had a pencil roller. So there we go. There's our bullet. Nice and heavy. It's a nice, heavy, and really bright red filled numbers. So that looks great. Yeah, really thematic. I wouldn't want to put this in my luggage, though, just in case Customs was going to have a problem with it. Yeah, this is not going to fit in the box, unfortunately, but yeah, there's plenty of room for all of our stretch goals and things. So here's our rule book, our collection of mini expansions and cinematic settings, the Medusa dossier, Project Medusa. I think this is their 3-shot introductory campaign. Yeah, this is their introductory campaign. And we'll go through everything here. And then a supplement of assassins, hired guns, and secret societies for Outgunned. So they've got their own little world building that they're doing, but you can tell the flavor is, very John Wick. I think they named Die Hard and John Wick and a few movie inspirations on the website. So what should we do here? Let's start with some cards, because I'm curious if they like the production quality of everything. The Household RPG was just absolutely beautiful. The box, with the magnetic seal and everything, and all the fabric, binding and embossing. It looks like we've got nice binding here as well. So here's our little decks. We've got adrenaline and gold points. Nice. We'll see all of these mechanics inside. So these little mini cards to keep track of your gold and your money. Nice. Everything is going to be visually represented here. Plan B. And then lots of adrenaline. So these are kind of like marker cards. So these could have probably been tokens as well. All right. Yes, let's start using this box here. And then it looks like status cards. So poisoned. You can be very poisoned. You can be blinded. You can be drunk, angry, confused, disheartened. So you look, the top of the card says you look. So you're taking conditions here: tired, scared, distracted. You look like a fool. You look nervous. You look hurt. And then more Plan B cards. Nice. And so each of these, it's 2-sided. So at the beginning of each action, flip a coin. Heads up, you lose 1 grit. Oh, nice. So the mechanics explained for each of these conditions. 2 sides on the card. So those coins will come in handy because it looks like we're doing some coin flips for determining things. So there's our mini cards, and let's take a look at the action deck here. Oh, and it even said on the back there, I think they did a nice job of letting you know what everything is. I completely missed, on the back of this box. So the mini deck is 22 adrenaline cards, 5 plan B cards, 20 cash cards, 10 gold, and then 52 conditions. Everything you need to keep track of all of your resources. Yeah, very easy, simple system. And nice to throw cards around a table when you're playing an action game here. So let's look at our action deck. And we'll take advantage of the nice job they did of telling you what's in here. So the action deck is 16 roll cards, 27 trope cards, 15 enemy cards, 26 feats, 26 special actions, everything you need to create a hero and enemies for Outgunned and World of Killers. So there we go. Here's our special actions. There's our enemy feats, our bad guys. Wow. Oh, they did a nice job. Yeah, so templates for creating goons. Goon templates, bad guys. These are great. Bosses. So easy to, easy to pull out. Automatic weapons, bulletproof vests, sharp blades, heavy-handed. So these must be skills. Feats, these are enemy feats. Fighters, mob, tactics, martial arts, armored, hard to kill, relentless. Piercing bullets, med kit, shotguns, one step ahead, explosive weapons, Titan, rage, flamethrower, grab and throw, counter, disarm, flashbang, foul play, pile on, I don't think so. Tackle, call for backup, chaos, surround, grenade, threats, clamp down, parry, weak spots, secret weapon, final move, infamy, and to the end. And these are all, so the last half of those are special actions. So we had feats and special actions. So these look like, so these cost adrenaline and these cost feat points. All right. And that's how we can make enemies. And then here's how we can make characters. That's nice. I mean, a nice quick system if you don't want to, you want to, and you could even randomize it as well. Have people pick 2 cards and then make their choices from there. So, for example, the assassin, their attribute points go into brawn and crime. Their skill points are listed. Their feats are listed, and their gear is concealed blade. And there's some character art. Nice. The commando. The art is, their stuff is always nice looking. The fighter. The ace, the agent. So even based on the art, I think players can, choose and get an idea of what they want to do. And then here is how you're going to stat them out. So that was the face, the nobody, the brain, the sleuth, the criminal, the spy. And then here's the tropes for making your characters. So jerk with a heart of gold, a good Samaritan, a diehard, a trusty sidekick, cool but distressed, a hunk, party killer, cheater, leader, lone wolf, bad to the bone, mentor, neurotic geek, genius bruiser, hot stuff, free spirit, vigilante, and last Boy Scout. There were even some movie titles in there, weren't there? And then special actions. So these look like we're still, special actions. More enemy feats here. So did these fall to purple? It looks like purple is enemies and red is heroes. So these might be more special actions. I guess they might be for anybody, but they're purple, so I'm imagining they may be for the bad guys. But the adrenaline cost of combat drugs, you're coming with me, pincer maneuver, poison strike, stand in the way, and smoke bombs. Oh no, they're they're blue. I'm sorry, blue was the enemy, so these can apply. And then enemy feats. So we've got this nice back, and this is a purple. So we've got grapplers, poisoned weapons, samurai, incendiary bullets, thermal imager, troublemaker, old-fashioned, saint, professional, magnificent bastard, battle butler, a battle butler, great performer, gone rogue, honorable demon, just wicked. Yeah, I think I'm back. And then, so that's all of our enemy feats. And then we've got some more types here. So the derelict, the dog trainer, the aristocrat, the hired gun, and the samurai. So these may be some, depending on what you're playing, some other classes. I guess there is a little, so the assassin has a yellow background. These are all purple, and then the first set was red. So I'm sure that has significance. Nice. So let's just take a quick look. So the nice quality, a really nice coating on the cards. Not super stiff, but you definitely, playing card quality. These are going to stand some wear and tear, and it looks like they're coated well enough the edges aren't going to fray. So, like their other stuff, very nice. Nice quality. Nice. A nice, easy grab your cards to represent everything about your characters. Good. Yeah, it's not always necessary, because especially if you're playing with a PDF or you're not even playing in person, it's still nice to have. Let's take a look quick at our movie posters. Another one of these, the Kickstarter goals. So these are one-sided. Oh, very long. One-sided this year. Get used to being outgunned. So action flicks. Maybe each theme of the game will be shown. So walking away from an explosion down the aisle of a movie theater. And then World of Killers. There we go. So I think, yeah, this is more their John Wick setting. This is more their generic action setting. Oh, this is looking pretty John Wick too. I saw they had the Nobody in there as well. So the John Wick guys did the movie Nobody as well. So I think this was their main promotional image, and very John Wick inspired. Nice. Yep, so one-sided, very long movie posters, but I guess the way that they did the boxes, it worked best to orient them this way. And the three of them together probably make an actual, theater-sized movie poster. So there's our movie posters, and a quick look at our dial. Yeah, this looks pretty straightforward. So instead of tokens, instead of being like overwhelmed with tokens that you'd have to punch out, looks like they went with cards for everything, which is nice. That seems to be something easily manageable and can be returned to a box instead of dealing with trays and things. And this is just your standard punch out for your speedometer, and decent. Yeah. It's too bad they didn't need any other space. But here's our two halves of this deal. So do you feel the need for speed? And here's our speedometer. We'll see if it goes in. Ooh, no, this way, I suppose. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. It won't even let you think about putting it in the wrong way. And this is like if you've done, Gloomhaven or anything, you probably are familiar with pinching these guys in. And there we go. Now we have our speedometer to keep track. And as it's getting worse and worse, they visually represent. You don't want to be at 6. Nice. And there's a nice tire mark across the dial. Yeah, so nice quality, easily assembled there. Here's our coins, our spotlight coins. Wow, nice and heavy. Yeah, so we'll need one of these for each character. If they've got conditions, they'll be flipping one of these. I guess one would be enough for the entire table. It doesn't happen that much, but we've got plenty. So yeah, and they may also work, we'll see in the rules, if they work as a currency, like a Benny or a inspiration. But yeah, nice. So we got a couple, I think they may have doubled through a stretch goal. They may have doubled the number included, and then I added one. Or added two. Oh, no, they didn't double. I added two. That's right. I wasn't sure how much we would need them, but they're really nice. Yeah, they're nice and heavy. Yeah, look how thick. Yeah, these will feel nice on the table, just like that bullet. Just like the bullet, it's metal. So, you know, on the table, that's a thing. So here's our spotlight coins. And then the dice. So action dice. Oh, nice. Heavy. Yeah, the big kind of, what is that? What is that? 14 millimeter? What do they call those? Yeah. But really deep embossing on the symbols. And so basically you're rolling, you're trying to roll pairs. So it's nice to, visually these will be really easy to see what you're rolling, more thematic, and it'll look less like Yahtzee when you're trying to roll pairs. If it was just dice with pips or dice with numbers. But yeah, these are great and really, really easy to read. That red and white is incredibly easy to read. Actually, let's put them in here. So yeah, just a little screen iron on. It looks like a little iron on printing. So that's our killer dice. I think these are our action dice, and these are what, our enemy dice? Killer dice, yes. So we've got 9 of each. So these are killer dice. I guess it maybe so these are just colored for World of Killers, actually. So if you're playing the different and gold, and again the same dice, looks like same mold, really deep emboss, and metallic gold fill on purple. So now we've got dice for both worlds, thematic, and then included with those as well were the D12s. So colored both in the killer and action. Yeah, so I guess it's the kind of the two genres they were trying to cover with this game. There we go. So we've got a few. Looks like we've got two symbols. The 8 and looks like the 12. Yeah, the 8 and the 12 have symbols, and the rest are just numerals for each of the worlds. Nice. So we'll see mechanically if they do anything with that, and then our pencil that we break if we need to murder somebody with a pencil. Yeah, so everything fits great into the box. All the stretch goals, it's nice they didn't unlock too much. All right, so let's get into this here. So let's get the plastic off so the glare is less hideous. And I would imagine the mechanics and the rules are the same, but it's just a setting difference. So maybe some things, won't come into play. An action movie might be more straightforward, whereas the assassin, there might be bounties and things. So here we go. Here's our core rulebook, and like I said, it's not an A5 or a B5, B4, B5 or B4. It's got a little bit more height. I believe it's 6x9 is the inches, and so that doesn't fit into any of the kind of standard like European paper sizes. But look at the spot varnish on there, and it's got a nice soft touch feel to it. So it's not gloss, but it's got that nice coating on it where it feels rubberized, and so it feels good in your hands. And yeah, they even did this on the back. So Outgunned, and I think this is the same text. Oh no, it's a bit different from the back of the stretch goal boxes. So in a world where ruthless villains plot in the shadows to steal nuclear launch codes and bring entire nations to their knees, where crooks in suits hire personal armies to amass wealth greater than anyone can imagine, where absolute madmen laugh while playing with human lives or blackmail the White House with outlandish demands, and where someone decided to kill the wrong dog, only a hero can save the day. Are you ready for action? Since we're leaning heavily into John Wick as their inspiration. So Outgunned is a cinematic action RPG inspired by the classics of the genre, from Die Hard to True Lies, passing through James Bond, Atomic Blonde, Kingsman, Ocean's 11, Hot Fuzz, Hot Fuzz and John Wick. Hot Fuzz, okay, sure. In Outgunned, players take on the role of action heroes facing terrible odds. They are constantly surrounded by enemies while trying to carry out their missions, be it robbing a casino or saving the day. All right. Yeah, so I guess there's heist. Yeah, there's also heist. Oh, look at that. Nice. There. Inner paper. They actually did something with it instead of giving it a color. They got their symbols going. That's great. All right. So let's take a look through. So they're trying. So that's always, with a game like this, can it do everything that it wants? I mean, it's not going outside of the action genre, but can it actually? Will the mechanics sufficiently cover all of this? Because that's a pretty wide range of types of films that they described. Because James Bond and Ocean's 11 and John Wick, there's quite a, I guess different stakes, different kind of levels of reputation or jeopardy for your character. So yeah, we'll see how they do. So these are tools, not rules. Nice. So yes, Two Little Mice, and the authors are Riccardo Rico Cirignano and Simone Formicola, and the art by Daniela Giobellini. Giobellini is beautiful. Yeah, really nice stuff throughout. All right, so here's our contents. So making a hero, time for action. This looks like character creation, rules, impending danger. So extra mechanics, gearing up, face the enemy. So combat, mission start, race against time. Oh, so this is, race against time is their introductory adventure in the core rule. Yeah, so you can get, just as a PDF, you can get just this. And I think there was a base pledge with just this initial book and probably everything else digitally. All right. So the director's cut. So Outgunned is a cinematic RPG. Yeah, we read the, let's see. So the game system is called the director's cut. So it's a set of mechanics using small pools of 6-sided dice to determine the outcome of the hero's actions. So when rolling dice, your goal is not to score the highest or the lowest possible number, but to roll in 2, 3, and 4 of a kind. So everything you need to know, who we are. So one of the players will be the director, and Outgunned is set somewhere in a cooler version of our world. So maybe New York, Hong Kong, or London. When are we? So we don't need dates. Could be the late 80s, could be the early 2000s. What's the goal? Carry out the mission. How many players? A director and a group of 3 to 4. However, you can do only 2. What dice do we roll? Handfuls of D6s. And then how many sessions? The game is designed for short cinematic campaigns of 5 to 8 sessions. Given its quick and easily accessible nature, it is perfect for one-shots or longer campaigns. I recommend you string together several shorter stories to create a cinematic saga of sorts, like Die Hard 1, 2, and 3, etc. All right, we're getting into some rules. So we get turns, scenes, sessions, shots, and then the cinematic campaign. So the core themes: do the right thing, all alone against all, spirit of sacrifice, revenge and forgiveness, your real family, and the broken system. Yeah, so tropes are things to keep in mind. And then they give some best practices. So here we go, the pillar of action. So the action never stops. It's like at the movies, and you don't know everything. There's our big promotion and poster image. So making a hero. So here's character creation. So a real hero is, so 3 things you need to keep in mind if you want to be a hero. You're someone with a mission, you live dangerously, and you're one of the good guys. So you can be a hearth and home kind of hero who scrunches up their face every time their companion cusses, or a real badass. So creating your hero, you choose a role, you fill in your personal data, you choose a trope, you mark attributes and skill points gained from your role and trope, and then add 2 free skill points. Choose and note 3 feats from your role and trope, and then choose your gear depending on the roll, and then mark 1 adrenaline, 1 spotlight, and 1 cash. So very straightforward. Yeah, and they have on the sheets, they have that. And it doesn't look like we have a pad of character sheets, but we'll have to see. Maybe there's some pre-gens. Yeah, so the roles like we saw in the cards were Commando, Fighter, Ace, Agent, Face, Nobody, Brain, Sleuth, Criminal, and Spy. And then your personal data featuring a catchphrase and a flaw, of course. So your job can prove useful to gather information. Your catchphrase is a clear indication of how you interpret your hero. Your flaw, on the other hand, is something you'll have to deal with or overcome. And the director can use it. Your catchphrase is a benchmark for when to award you with a spotlight. All right, and then age. We'll talk about it later. So here's a breakdown of each of the character types. Or roles, I'm sorry. Yeah, they call them roles. Yeah, here's all the roles. These will all look eerily familiar. Yeah, great art for everything. It's, reminiscent, but not, spot on to anything you've seen before. The criminal and the spy. All right. So heroes of all ages. So here's how age affects things. If you're a kid or a teenager, anyway, you've just got a long way to go. Adult is the best years and top shape, and old, you're trying to hide it, but you're behind. So young heroes have the feat Too Young to Die available. Old heroes have 2 lethal bullets, and adult has nothing. So you don't get any special. And then here's a list of the tropes we went through on those cards. So archetypes, not stereotypes. So adhering to a trope helps you dive straight into the action with a reasonably clear idea of how your hero will act during the mission. It also helps other players get an idea of who your hero is and how to interact with them. But be careful not to take it too far. Nice. So here's descriptions of how all of those tropes work. All right, attributes and skills. You have 5 attributes and 20 skills. So you can have up to 3 points in each attribute and skill. Start off with 2 in all the attributes and 1 in all the skills. And these are already marked on the sheet, and then you choose to add. So you get 2 free skill points. And then advancing during a mission, you will gain new skill points to assign. And then here's brawn, nerves, smooth, focus, and crime are your attributes. And here's all the feats that were on the cards as well. So using feats. So most feats are always active, granting you free rerolls when you're acting in a certain way. And then you'll see the little lightning bolt symbol next to some feats, which means they will cost adrenaline. And finally, some feats are preceded by the phrase quick action, which means you can spend a quick action to activate them. Similarly, to activate a feat preceded by full turn, you will be given the chance to roll a die or take action on that turn. And here's a list of all of the feats that we saw. Yeah, and some of them do have the adrenaline cost mark. Oh, and here's a little side box for free reroll. So some feats grant you a free reroll and leave some room for interpretation and require to use some creativity. For such cases, you should always try to call the feat into play when it sounds useful without getting too greedy. Yeah, so make it narrative, make it make sense instead of just spamming an easy reroll. So list of everything. So resources. So grit and conditions. Grit and conditions. So grit represents your ability to shake off wounds and stress. So it's what keeps you standing back up after every failure. In your hero sheet, you've got 12 empty boxes to represent your grit. When you lose some, just fill in those boxes. And then there's the you look section. You look section of the conditions, right? Which allow you to keep track of conditions, which are consequences of bad injuries. So adrenaline and spotlight. Adrenaline is a fuel that keeps you going. You begin with 1 adrenaline. You can always spend it to gain a +1 for a roll. And the spotlights are even more precious of a resource. They allow you to get every everyone's attention by accomplishing feats worthy of an action movie hero. So you begin the game with 1 spotlight, and you can spend it to gain a success without rolling your dice in many circumstances, and to remove a condition, or save it, or to save one of your friends when they're about to meet a bitter end. Oh, good. So it's a save as well. So Death Roulette. So is that what the bullet is? Yes, the lethal bullet. The Death Roulette is a metaphorical cylinder that contains 6 lethal bullets. So you begin the game with 1 lethal bullet and gain another whenever you take a spin of the Death Roulette to save your bacon. The more bullets are in the cylinder, the harder it will be for you to keep avoiding dramatic departure from a scene. Nice. So we'll discuss the Death Roulette, and impending danger, and then cash and gear. So you have cash flow. Yeah, there's a feat called cash flow. So during the mission, you can rely on a good number of guns and things. Begin the game with equipment granted you by your role, as well as 1 cash, which you can spend during the mission to buy things. Nice. And loaded weapons. So some roles include a nice set of firearms with starting gear. For example, if you choose to play the agent, you start the game with a pistol on your hip, and if you choose to enlist as a commando, you can even choose your favorite weapon. When filling in your hero sheet, you immediately gain 2 mags for each of your weapons. One is already in the gun, ready to open fire. The second can be noted down by filling in one of the 3 bullets. Besides the weapons, gun and gear. So they do ammo, like kind of an abstract. They do magazines. Nice. And here's the GM screen, or the director's screen. That's right. Director's screen image, and then rolling the dice. So here's our more direct mechanics. So you shouldn't roll the dice every turn. Dice rolls are reserved for situations where there's something at stake. So actions and reactions. So an action is what you do is up to you. You're free to choose your actions and choose what attribute and skill come into play. Describe your action and roll the dice. Reactions. The director tells you what is happening and how you react. The attribute and skill you used is up to them. I see. And so what's at stake? When facing a roll, there's always something on the line. Having a clear image of what's at stake allows the director to determine the consequences of a success or failure. So broadly speaking, a nice success always means you reach your goal, and a failure, on the other hand, means things didn't go as planned. So attribute and skill. So when making a roll, you must always use 1 attribute and 1 skill. Although skills are listed under the attributes they most are often paired with, you can use any skill with any attribute. When shooting, you'll notice nerves and shoot. When throwing punches, you'll roll brawn and fight, but you can also use your imagination. And to hit a goon after sneaking up behind them, you can roll crime and fight. And to find a way while you're driving, nerves and awareness. That's cool. So the dice pool. So after choosing an attribute and skill, add up the 2 scores. The total is the number of dice you can roll. So to play Outgunned, you can use special action dice, yay, but you can also use common d6s. So adrenaline conditions and gear can also modify your chances by adding or removing a die. And then when you are acting under favorable circumstances or make smart choices, the director can award you with a +1 to your roll. And acting recklessly can be -1. So all things considered, you never roll less than 2 or more than 9 dice. So what could go wrong? If you're ever in doubt about which attribute or skill, ask yourself what could go wrong. And when you have a clear idea of the consequences of your failure, it will be easier to think about a way to avoid them. Nice. So yes, you could chicken out and stomp the brakes at the very last second, which means you should roll nerves and cool. So roll difficulty, basic, quick and easy action. So just like jumping over an obstacle. And then critical is a full action or reaction. Extreme is truly demanding, and then impossible is a desperate action. So when you face a roll, the director is tasked with setting the difficulty, but they're not required to disclose it before the roll. Interesting. So most rolls are worthy of a hero are critical rolls. So usually that should be the difficulty of your action. Whenever in doubt, always use the difficulty of that roll. So basic rolls are small fries, with extreme rolls only in desperate situations, and impossible rolls are awfully rare. All right. And when you are making especially complex or dangerous roll, the director should choose to double the difficulty of it. This means that your roll must have equal to 2 basic, 2 critical, or 2 extreme, but never 2 impossible. So 4 levels, yeah, so they don't say the number. I guess we're getting there. And then setting the difficulty. Yeah, so it's not talking about the how many that means. So you need to roll dice for everything. Oh, here we go. Successes. So you get a success for each set of 2 or more that you land of this that lands on the same side. All right. Oh, here we go. So here, basic success, you need 2 of a kind, critical 3, extreme 4, impossible 5 of a kind, and jackpot 6 of a kind. All right. So to pass a basic roll or to pass extreme roll, you need basic success or extreme success. And oh, that's nice. They give you the chart of how possible that is, depending on how many dice you're rolling. So if you score a higher success than you need, the director can grant you an even better outcome, give you an important advantage. If you score a lower score, you may try to do something to mitigate the consequences of your failure. If you score more successes than you need, you can always use them to take extra actions. And if you score a jackpot, you become the director. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, right. If you score a jackpot, you become the director for a turn. Wow. Enjoy the chance to freely describe how the sensational actions take care of the situation and lead you to success. Remember, you're not playing poker here. A full house is nothing more than a critical success and a basic success. And a flush is still something in beauty. Oh, I see. So you can have multiple, if you're rolling 4 dice and you get two pairs, because it's pairs of anything. Nice. All right, so there's the rates. So 3 equals 1, 1 equals 3. So 3 smaller successes are worth as much as 1 greater success, and 1 greater success is worth as much as 3 smaller, which means that you can combine 3 basic into a critical and 3 criticals into an extreme. Conversely, you can spend critical successes like basic successes and 1 extreme success with 3 critical successes. Okay, got all that? Yeah, so just their simple system of 2 of a kind, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind. Rerolls. So you can always, if you don't get it right the first time, you can re-roll. So if you have, so you can always re-roll if you have scored at least 1 basic success. So re-rolling drastically increases the chance of success, and I suggest you do it very often. So when re-rolling, you take all the dice that weren't part of the combination and then roll them again. If after the re-roll the results are better than the first, congratulations. Otherwise, you lose the previously scored success. Oh, if it's not better. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so you'll lose the pair if you don't improve. So I guess if you're just re-rolling 1 die, it may not be worth it. So you either lose the previous scored success and you choose, which. So your new roll is considered better than the first one if you have an additional success, or if you've transformed one of your successes into a greater success. So here's your examples, and a free reroll. So some feats allow you a free reroll. Or special circumstances, or when you take specific actions. For example, Gunslinger lets you do a free reroll whenever you are using, repairing, evaluating, or handling a gun. A free reroll takes the place of your normal, but is far better because when you do a free, you never risk losing the original success. And even if you didn't score any successes on your first roll, you can still do it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so the basic reroll is a little dangerous. So all in. So if after making a reroll or a free reroll, you got a better result, you can still choose to go all in. So once more, roll all the dice that weren't part of the success, and would you like to for a normal reroll. And then if you get a better result, Lady Luck has smiled. But if you do not get a better result, you lose all previous successes. So you actually can do 2 rerolls and go all in, but you lose everything. So I guess it's, all in or all or nothing, basically. Nice. So you lose all previous successes from the first roll, the reroll, and the all in. Nice. And then the recap. So after rolling the dice, tally the successes. If you scored at least a success, you can reroll. If you have a free reroll based on something else, you can, even when you don't have any successes. And if making a reroll or a free one, you get a better result, you can do it try one more time and go all in. Reroll, reroll, reroll. So rerolling is not a dangerous option you should only resort to in desperate situations. Far from it. Rerolls are your friends, and they greatly increase your chance of success. A hero worthy of his name should reroll most of the time. And a hero should never settle on a meager basic success. So push your luck. And it's not true about going all in. All ins are for desperate situations and should be used sparingly. Yes, so the second reroll is something that you shouldn't be too insane to try. Nice. So if by the end of a session you notice you haven't rerolled at least half of your rolls, you might be playing things too safe. Interesting. Good advice. I mean, I'm glad they're telling you how their system is supposed to be played. So here's a game example and the success of rerolls. And here's our nice ribbon bookmark. So the extra actions, extra basic, extra critical, and extra extreme. So you get quick, full, or cool. So yeah, kind of adding qualities like in some of the other die pool games. And then help, you gain a +1, you gain a success, or gain a requisite. That allows you to roll the dice. Adrenaline, so gaining adrenaline. So you get the success they needed against all odds. They get a far greater success. Nice. So you get 1, and you automatically gain 2 when you fill in the hot box on your grit tracker. Nice. We'll have to see what the hot box looks like here. All right. So you spend 1 adrenaline to get a +1, spend 1 to activate a special ability for some feats, and spend 6 to immediately gain a spotlight. All right. And the spotlight, 3. You can never have more than 3 at a time. And you can spend 1 to get an extreme success automatically, save a friend, remove a condition, save a ride, or do whatever you want. And then after using a spotlight, flip a coin. If the results is tails, immediately regain the spotlight if you have never, as if you had never spent it. Not too shabby. And the only exception to this rule is when you save the life of a friend, then if your result is tails, they gain a spotlight. Nice. All right, gaining a spotlight when the hero calls on their catchphrase or when the hero calls on their flaw. Failure. So failure doesn't exist. Failure is simply a pothole on the road. Smaller successes. And then 4 ways to fail with style. So roll with the punches, pay the price, take the hard road, or face danger. All right. So what are we doing here? They have the impending danger. So dangerous rolls. So when you take an action or reaction that puts your life in a situation, in this situation on the line, you may have to make a dangerous roll. Jumping off a building, running through a hail of bullets, escaping with an explosion. So this means when you read action or reaction, you're making a dangerous roll. Oh, anything with the, let's see. So we will represent danger rolls with the little skull here. Okay, what's the difference? The difference between a normal roll and a dangerous roll is if you fail the dangerous roll, you don't fail the usual consequences. Instead, you lose a set amount of grit. So basic 1, critical 3, extreme 9, and impossible lose all your grit. So when you lose any amount of grit, you must fill in an equal number of grit boxes on your sheet. Once all the boxes are full, you've lost it all. And your next mistake could prove fatal. So it takes grit, so 12 boxes. So whenever you fail a roll, you fill in a danger roll. You fill in a set number of boxes. And then damage control, when you make a roll and fail to score successes you need, you can always do a smaller success to do damage control. and take a small, desperate action to try to avoid losing at least some grit. So every basic action you scored, you can avoid losing 1 grit, and for every critical success, you can gain avoiding 3. So yeah, but when you make an impossible roll with skulls, you can't do damage control. Special boxes, the bad box. The 8th box is the bad box. So whenever you fill in this box, you suffer a condition determined by the director, and then the hot box. So that's what the D12s, I guess those are those 2 symbols on the D12s. The last box in the hot box, when you fill in this box, you immediately get a rush of 2 adrenaline. It's now or never. So losing all your grit, and then you can spin the death roulette or risk being left for dead. The recovering grit, you can sleep on it, you can catch a break or after a shot. So I think, yeah, grit is going to basically operate like your health, or I guess, yeah, it's keeping you in the action. Here's another example of gameplay with dangerous rolls. And then the gamble. To play with fire, you handle explosives or drive a car at top speed. You're always making a gamble. You want to go all out when you need an extra edge. You can choose to act recklessly, putting yourself in the path of great danger. You take things too far and attempt a truly crazy action. So when a situation calls for a gamble, you need to make your roll and all rerolls as normal. Afterwards, look at the dice, and for every snake eye you rolled, you lose a grit. So there are, so the symbols do mean things because they add either danger or, grit loss. The loss of grit during a gamble represents the consequences and collateral damage you have incurred. Nice. And you look is the conditions. Nice. Yeah. So condition is a consequence of a fail when you fill in a bad box or when failure is not enough. So the director needs to add something. Here's all those conditions we saw on the cards and then what they mechanically represent. The end of a hero. So death roulette. So next to your conditions, there are 6 bullets in the cylinder. So here is the symbol on your sheet. And the more cylinders are filled with lethal bullets, the closer you are to doom. All right. So when you're about to be left for dead, the director will let you spin the death roulette, and the single roll will decide whether you survive or have finally rolled your last. Nice. So you roll a 6-sided die. Or the bullet die, right? And if it's greater than the number of lethal bullets, you have a narrow escape. If the result is equal to or lower, then you are left for dead. But you can, your friends can save you at the last second by using one of their spotlights. So remember, you begin the game with 1 lethal bullet in the cylinder. If you add 1 more whenever you have a narrow escape. See where we're going with this? And then the roulette never goes back down to 1 at or it goes back down at the beginning of 1 at the new cinematic campaign. So yeah, if you restart or if you start a new campaign, it lowers. So you can save a friend, left for dead, and then back from the dead. Oh, a hero is left for dead and always has the chance to return suddenly with a preposterous story about how they managed to survive. They always get a scar. So you can decide, so you're tasked with finding the best moment and a way your fallen hero can return. In any case, the hero can only rejoin the story at a turning point or during a showdown. Oh, that's cool. And then at the beginning of a cinematic campaign, and we'll talk about that in the mission part. Oh, there's the gear. Nice. So common items, tools of the trade, guns, rides, getting gear, losing gear, guns, gun feats. Whoa. Yeah, so yeah, they're going to do a lot more detail than I thought. They might like completely abstract it, but no, they do. Gun stats. The general lead, but you can't see the roof, can you? So rides, bikes, cars, nautical rides, flying rides, and armored. All right. Speed, armor, the ride sheet. So we've got a little stat sheet for our rides. Getting ride, extras, and then the cash. So spending cash. So 1, cash gears and services of little consequence. 2 is more expensive and harder to find. And 3 is luxury. Nice, and you can make it more expensive. Yeah, so cash is abstracted. Like we've seen in other games. How to earn it, the black market, gearing up. Face the enemy. So here's our combat. Yeah, fists and bullets. So an action turn and a reaction turn. So here's a free to take reactions, and the director states the enemy actions, and then all the heroes must defend themselves. So quick action, action turn. When taking a quick action, you can grab or toss an object, reload a weapon, reach an enemy who is in close range. So they're going to abstract distances as well. So I guess, yeah, that's why we didn't see any range on the, let's see, ranges on the weapons. All right, I'm making an action roll. The hero can take any kind of complex action, including attack. And then the hero must roll with the difficulty equal to the enemy's defense. Let's make a roll, and for every appropriate success score, the enemy loses 1 grit. Alright, so usually when attacking an enemy in melee, you roll brawn and fight. The reaction turn. So during the reaction turn, the director describes the reaction of the enemies and all heroes involved in the combat. And here's just some guides to what to roll. Brawn and fight, brawn and stunt, brawn and endure. Depending on your actions, and the different reactions and extra reactions. So if you get an extra success that is at least equal to the enemy's defense, you can use it to counterattack. The enemy will lose 1 grit when you attack, and here's an example of combat. And then brawling, enemies with double difficulty. You opt to brawl. Bang, bang, bang. So yeah, melee. So yeah, close range, melee range, close range, medium, long, and out. Yeah, of range. Yeah, so very, simplified range rules. Partial cover, total cover. So mags. So yeah, you don't have to keep track of your bullets, only your mags. So you never consume bullets or mags, but so you can have fun making the lead rain on your enemies, but there are only 4 ways to empty a mag. Failure, going full auto, covering fire, or bad luck. And then when you empty a mag, you'll have to reload. To be able to use the weapon again, to reload, you need a quick action. And then enemies. Oh yeah, so here. So we saw on the cards, basically, how to quickly stat out the enemies. So goons and different enemy types. So there are different types are goons, bad guys, and bosses. Yes. So the enemy templates are listed from 1 to 5 in difficulty. As a director, so playing an enemy, you are tasked with describing and playing the enemy's role as you see fit. Goons, yeah, so here's the level. Oh, I see, yeah, so the amount of grit that it takes, not like the amount, so 6 as opposed to a 12. 1 feat, 0.3 for bad guys, 5 for bosses. So yeah, how many feet they have. Enemy resources, their feats, their special actions. Yeah, we saw a lot of this on the cards. List of enemy feats, 2 points, and list of special actions, yeah, that they can spend adrenaline on. So yeah, it looks like they work basically the same, but have access to probably different, more thematic things, and then weak spots. So your enemy always has loaded weapons and dangerous resources. So finding the weak spot, you can make an action roll with focus and detect equal to the enemy's defense, and alternatively, if you have an intuition feat, you can find a weak spot. Exploiting it, you get a +1 on a single roll when you generate an advantageous opportunity to strike your enemy. So on-demand enemies, oh nice, they have some kind of just pre-gen, quick style enemies. Need for speed. So need represents the objective of the chase, and the speed represents how fast the heroes are when compared to their opponents. So we did have a speedometer, didn't we? And always so these, yeah, chase rules. So action turns, reaction turns, and then yeah, what to roll for different Chase actions, setting the need, and high speed. Losing a chase. The ride explodes. You lost all your grit. You're out of time. You're too slow. It's not worth it. An example of a chase. So changing the starting speed. Oh, I see. So you can impose like how fast you're going to make it more difficult. The no ride chase. Special actions during a chase. And then missions start. All right. So describing the mission. So the stakes, the shots, and cinematic campaign, or single shots. And then the villain. So cinematic campaign always begins with an establishing shot, a showdown, and then a turning point is included. So 3 pieces of advice: the stakes, plant, and payoff, and non-stop, and mistakes to avoid: overfilled shots, too horizontal and action with no emotion. Interesting. So let's see. Yeah, here's the mission sheet. Oh, so I guess, yeah, the director is like keeping track of, and there's that plan B mechanic that we saw. You can always play a spin-off. So a prequel, a sequel, a spin-off, or a crossover. Nice. So yeah, they're really sticking to that cinema type deal. So yeah, you'll do sequels or prequels. That's fun too, because then you'll adjust the age. You can adjust the age of your character. So the director sheet, like that. The villain. So here's all of our, and how they're all statted out, and the supporting characters, their names, and their sheet. Like that. I guess hopefully all of these are available for print. I didn't see anything. The heat. So yeah, you're tracking rising heat, point of no return, say goodbye, stinging defeat, it's too late, fatal mistake. So the impact of heat. So at heat 6, all heroes add a lethal bullet to their roulette. 9, all enemies have an additional feat point, and at 12, heroes gain 1 adrenaline and add a lethal bullet to their roulette. The heat is building, so plan B is possibly the most powerful resource a hero can rely on, and it only comes into play during cinematic campaigns. Think of plan B as something of a group spotlight, more powerful than that. Wow, so backup or bullets or bluffing. Cool, and then timeout, our breathers in a scene. What happens during a timeout? You can do any of these actions. When to have timeouts. And then the heist. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so I was wondering how they were going to talk about the different types of actions. So how to do a heist campaign. So I guess the first one was a villain style campaign. This will be the heist, and then discussing advancement. So what do I get? You advance. When you advance, you gain 2 skill points, 1 feat, and 1 adrenaline. When you advance is after a turning point and just before the showdown. So how much? Each hero can advance 3 times, gaining a total of 6 skills and 3 additional feats. Then you've reached your maximum potential. And then experiences, achievements, scars, bonds, and reputation. Using experiences, examples of bonds and things, and then many heroes, few heroes. So many heroes, if the group is composed of 6 or more heroes, it is best to play more sessions before coming to the turning point. If it's fewer, 1 or 2, then you may have a hard time facing the challenges and enemies described in the rulebook. A 1-hero army. So you want to face off a mission alone. Nice. So yeah, the recommendation to make them more powerful if they're playing alone. Double your actions, do it yourself, bullet time, and I want them alive. And then here we go, our introductory adventure. With the slate and everything is exploding. Nice. So race against time, they give you a summary. Here's some kind of characters, maybe NPCs. Oh, nice. And they do it like a screenplay. Yeah, that'd be cool if that's, we'll take a look in the other books if that's how they continue to depict things. That's a nice idea, keeping with the movie theme. So I'll just, yeah, nice production. And then here's sheets for the enemies that they, sorry, I guess these are like the pre-gens that they showed you. Yeah, so maybe you can jump right into it with any one of these guys. And then the filmography. Oh, wow. So there's everything. I won't read through everything, but everything that inspired them. It's a lot of stuff. Nice. And here is our sheet for, I guess, our heroes and then our director. Yeah, oh, this is the director sheet. I guess this is more for just the adventure. Nice. I wish we had these color printout of those sheets, like a pad of those. Those are nice. Really well done. Wow. Well, that is it. That's the whole whole flip through the basic book. So let's see what they included as far as other settings and their adventures here. So here's their mini expansion and cinematic setting. So this is where everything for the action dice, right? Instead of the killer dice. The spot varnish, the soft touch. Oh, they did the, that's interesting. Oh no, they did the spot on the spine. I didn't see that before. Nice. 2 little mice. So what are we looking at here? Are you bored? Do you not know what to play? ActionFlix is here for you. ActionFlix is a video store of mini expansions for Outgunned cinematic role-playing game. It is a collection of heroes, mechanics, tips, and tools to get you straight into the action in an ever-changing and surprising context. So when you have dreamed of bringing some magic to your Outgunned games, or maybe you're playing as an alien or a superhero and you're always wanting to jump into the action in a retro future with your cyberware, or leave for deep space with your spaceship, or do you long to gain the dark powers of a vampire or a werewolf, or to dedicate some time to ghost hunting? Okay, this is getting really broad. So thanks to ActionFlix, you'll be able to do all this and more. Wow, is that true? We will find out. All right, some more nice end papers. All right, so what are we looking at here? Oh yeah, so they're just basically going to give you genres. So Star Raiders, the new rules, and spaceships and everything. The Rising Dragon, so martial arts movie. Cloak and Dagger, kind of a romantic spy genre. Great powers are superheroes. Weirder things are, I guess, kids on bikes. Yeah, basically. Wow. Kind of magic is the magic rules, killing aliens, hero versus alien or predator, ghost hunters, I guess like X-Files, right? Midnight Wars, vampires and werewolves, neo-noir, and everything all at once. Okay, now it's completely out of control. Heroes of the multiverse, the master of the multiverse, and power of the multiverse. Do we have to go that far? All right, so there we go. Yeah, there's what their little spines are showing you everything. So choose your kind of flick. They give you a description of each, and then warning. It's designed to be played one at a time or in any combination with the Outgunned sourcebook. Mix action flicks in at your own peril. If you mix too many action flicks, you run the risk of collapsing reality. Collapsing reality, but we agree it's also crazy fun. Oh, nice. It looks like you're sliding the tape out there. All right. Yeah, so here's our Star Raiders Wars stuff. It's a space adventure. Wow. Yeah, they give quite a few, not Yoda, give quite a few additional things. And then, yeah, stat out a little bit different sheet. Oh, yeah, because they get laser guns and gear. So, yeah, they'll give you different sheets to be more appropriate. So, martial arts, East action movies, yeah, wuxia missions. Wow, yeah, they're trying to give you every opportunity. Types of enemies, and then, yeah, the adapted sheet. Cloak and Dagger. I guess it's more swashbuckling. I thought it was... Yeah. More Three Musketeers than James Bond. Yeah, dueling mechanics. Those sheets. Wow. This is a lot. So great powers are superheroes. So yeah, they are trying to do everything. So I wonder how successful. Yeah, that really is interesting. This is a lot. This is quite a bit. Yeah, this is something they could have added over time, but it's all here. Yeah, kids on bikes. There we go. Yeah, and I guess, I mean, the rules do seem, the mechanics are simple and broad enough that, yeah, you couldn't just make little tweaks to include stuff in. And there are things. Oh, Harry Potter. Oh, that's what they were trying to do. Okay, gotcha. Huh, magical heroes. I was wondering what that was. Killing aliens. Yeah, I wonder how well this works, because they are going for the the movie thing, and so it's going to be more cinematic and extreme, like more over the top. Which Stranger Things and Harry Potter really, I don't know. Oh, Ghostbusters is not X-Files, it's Ghostbusters. Of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah, well, that would be more action-based and extreme, and not Beetlejuice and not Slimer or anything. Oh yeah, they help you stat out some ghosts. Wow. Midnight Wars, yes. So not Blade with not a sword. So killing vampires and werewolves. The Slayer. Right, so then all your enemies will be interesting. Noir or Neon Noir. So like there's cyberpunk. Wow. Or Matrix, I guess, possibly, yeah. I don't know what they're exactly going for. And then everything all at once. Don't do this. Represented by the chaos of an unsolved Rubik's Cube. Yeah, it would be fun to for the player to be an actor, like to kind of come up with an actor and the kind of role he would always want to play, or the kinds of roles he always plays, and then to do this like genre busting thing and have him be capable or less capable in certain genres because it didn't match well. And then you could have a box office returns mechanic. Wow. So there's a mini bunch of crazy genres. That's a lot. And lastly, we got one more after this, our little starting adventure, but our last hardcover. This is a lot more in these little books. I wasn't expecting them to try to do so much, but I think the simplicity of the system is not going to, it's probably going to make that possible. It's not going to maybe be as satisfying as a game that was, a game engine that was made for a specific kind of experience. But as long as it's, everything is supposed to be over the top and adrenaline based, then that could work. And now purple. Oh, so let's see. What are we dealing with here? So this is the world of killers. So in a world where criminal families compete to control entire cities, locked in violent games of chess on bloodstained boards, where the ancient secret organizations control the fates of billions and suppresses the voices of any dissidents, where killers are in sharp suits hunt each other for a handful of gold coins just to add another notch to their gun, and where everyone is dreadfully dark and mysterious. Only a hero can save the day. There's no going back now. So World of Killers is an expansion for the cinematic action role-playing game Outgunned, inspired by John Wick, Kill Bill, Leon, the Professional, Assassin's Creed, and Hitman. In a World of Killers, the player takes on the role of a heroic killer who must cooperate to carry out an impossible mission. Includes a complete setting, new mechanics, new actions, customized hero and enemies, and a 5-shot cinematic campaign ready to play. So yeah, I think this is their kind of John Wick, not John Wick source book, or their assassin, their killer source book. But they're going to give you everything to kind of flesh this out just a bit more. All right, so killer heroes, samurai, hired gun, aristocrat, dog trainer, derelict. Oh, so that's where we're seeing the purple cards. These are from this book. So they included that in the cards. That's nice. It wasn't just the core rule book. Their tropes and their feats. So that's why it was a little color-wise a little confusing, because they're all heroes. Or for, player characters. Then the world is the stone, the 6 stone families, and then kind of your mob or cartel or triad or bravfa. All right, you play anywhere. And killer's life, the new rules. So how gold, gear, trained dogs, enemies and things work, a cinematic campaign, it's a family business, and love and war, judge and jury, from riches to rats, Italian wedding, hail of fire, and the end. Then handouts are pre-made sheets and Polaroids of the characters. Wow. So let's just take a quick flip through here, because this might spoil a lot, because it seems like a lot of this is going to be, it looks like that much is going to be the campaign. So killer heroes, so create a world of killers, and a little bit different. They're statted out a little more capable. The family business is their campaign. Yeah, so here's how to do your professional killers, your samurais, your John Wicks, your aristocrats, your dog trainer. Oh yeah, who was that? Was that Halle Berry? Who was that in the one of those sequels? The derelict. Oh yeah, this is all. There's Lawrence Fishburne. This is all the kind of characters from John Wick. So the assassin, why is it gold? Is it special? Hidden blade in the shadow. Oh, I guess this is the Assassin's Creed. So special role simultaneously acts as your role and your trope and your job. So mark it down as all 3. All right. Yes, so all of the your special feats and tropes. Yeah, this is very much their world of killers with their purple ribbon. The world. Stone. Yeah, this is, so the stone is a symbol of violence, steadfastness, and death. So the secret societies. An unshakable authority. The 6 stone families. The Godfather. All right. So was that Russian mob? Chinese mob? Italian mob? Japanese Yakuza? Dolan mob? Was it the Irish mob? So yeah, they break everything down. The rats. So your killer's life. Your blood debt, very John Wick. So it's John Wick without totally licensing John Wick. Interesting. Yeah, that maybe they wanted to do it, but realized that's maybe limited. Yeah, maybe a little bit too limited for what they could do with just an action movie genre. The gold. Starting gold, spending gold. Yeah, so money is going to work a little different. The gear is working different. And the dogs are different. Look at all the pets you can have as a killer. New conditions. Yeah, I guess so. Everything in the cards that was purple is coming from this. So you wouldn't use it in the core because it's more specialized for this assassin kind of setting. Need for kill. Yeah, so going over the rules a little bit, probably tweaking things a bit because it might be more hidden. And then spoiler alert, beyond these pages you'll find the, oh yeah, so this is the family, yeah, there it is, all those red pages. This is the family business. I like that they do the, there's the characters. I like that they do the script pages, that's great. Well, we'll skip ahead, we won't spoil family business. Here's Polaroids of all of the members. Which is a little spoilery, I suppose. So these are all the handouts. So it's too bad. It would have been nice if they were going to go like have another level. It's more stuff to produce, and maybe they, they based it on the success of the campaign. But to have these as Polaroids to throw on a table would be nice. And then here's the filmography for their world of killers that was inspired, and then their sheets. Yeah, so hopefully these are all available to print. These are nice. It's nice the way they're laid out. I just wish we got some of them. Wow. So yeah, here's your John Wick kind of assassin source book. I guess like kind of mafia killer. So any assassin character with the connection to the world and who they owe what can be done there. And saving this little guy for last, the 3-shot introductory campaign. So Project Medusa. So this is soft cover, but it is still the soft touch. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to destroy Project Medusa. Project Medusa is the first mission dossier for Outgunned. It's a mini cinematic campaign that includes everything you need to start playing without any additional setup. Heroes, enemies, villains, and everything. Project Medusa is the perfect introduction to Outgunned. You don't need the core book to play. Oh, wow. So just use this... use the rules available for free in the downloadable Quick Start. So the Quick Start PDF and this, and you can play immediately. Yeah, so this is probably a stretch goal. Got this printed out because this was probably on the page from the beginning to try out the game. All right. So yeah, Race Against Time, and then the scenes. So just the different sections of it. So Project Medusa, yes, it's a mission. So the summary: tracking down a mysterious Project Medusa, a secret weapon that they learn is a virus. And then there's named characters, so we won't spoil everything, but here's everything set up with the awesome script pages again. And here's our pre-gens in the back. So you can play right away with these guys that are already statted out. I think just like the other adventure we saw had some already statted out characters. Nice. Yeah, so this is a quick start introductory adventure to get playing right away. Yeah, without any character creation or really setting things up. Nice. And that's, I think this was part of their quick start, but it got funded. All right, so everything fits nicely together. Yeah, that's a nice little set there. You could definitely use a slipcase, but they are. So yeah, that's everything for Outgunned. The what was that? The pledge, the action hero. So basically, they're all in tier. Everything that they produced. So we've got our posters, and then all the Kickstarter stretch goals, except a few too many coins. But this is everything they did, and I think they. It's not quite as deluxe and elaborate feeling as the household. There was nice gold foil, and but that was also the style of that game was a little more fantasy, a little more fantastic and kind of baroque in its detail, and this is more straightforward. They did a nice job though with sticking with the VHS tape, movie script, kind of sequels, prequels idea. I think that's a clever idea. Once you guys hone in on a genre you want to play and just do some characters and do a cinematic universe of your own. But wow, I'm really curious how satisfying this is and how this plays. It seems like it's got everything turned up. We've seen other games like the 2D20 system is trying to do pulp and more cinematic type things. The storytelling system for that Fantasy Flight did for their Star Wars games is trying to keep things kind of action, more action and more story based. This is all, it seems like all action because everything is themed that way. And they are doing probably another one of this style of book is coming out. I'll put the link to this recent campaign. So if you're watching this shortly after it was posted, they are doing it looks like a more pulp action kind of Indiana Jones kind of temple raiding type source book. So how you would play Indiana Jones basically. And I forget, what is it called? Adventure. Yeah, so it's Outgunned Adventure. So that's going to be on backer kit. I guess it's not going to go completely to Kickstarter. So it's going to be another book of this size and probably this dimension. And they're saying it's the first genre book in the Outgunned line. So it can be a standalone or as an expansion. So it's pulp adventure inspired by Indiana Jones, The Mummy, things like that. So we've if you want to play that, 30s and 40s style hero. And the early birds get some gold coins. No. So, this is Outgunned. So it's pretty ambitious. And I like that they're letting you do what you want and, just kind of suggesting, although, the genre is pretty specifically said, this is Ghostbusters, this is Harry Potter. It pretty, pointed pretty directly at specific films. And I guess you want to know what you're trying to do, what people are going after, things that people might be interested in. It did remind me a little bit of the Everyday Heroes that they actually licensed the films, and then they try to do this universal system that could play all of those movies. So this seems to be the kind of opposite approach, a more general system that you can adapt to different genres. But there might be something fun in there with like playing your actor, playing the actor that's given these roles, and how well, because you can just play that completely out narratively, is that they're not doing a great job at still looking competent as an action hero, and all of the love interests are getting way too young for them. There's things like that may be fun, kind of having a little bit of meta, like a little bit of self-awareness and meta in this, because it is so this is a Hollywood movie, might be a little fun. There's no mechanics for that, but it might be a little fun narratively to see what you would do. But yeah, lots of fun accessories that I think will make playing this at the table a lot more, visceral and hands-on. I wish there were more handouts. I wish, if they wanted to do like in this World of Killers, glossy Polaroids and stuff would have been fun for the named characters and things. But yeah, they did a great job. Oh, that's right. Here's our dice. They did a great job with how they the production quality is great, and I think they covered everything that's kind of necessary. Cards are nice to use to not be flipping through a rule book. You won't have to pass this. You won't have to pass this around, because everything you'll need for your characters is going to be on the cards. You might have to pass, if people have the same feats, you might have to pass some cards around, but not bad at all. And having everything fit in there is a really nice idea. So yeah, this was about, I think, 150 all in, so not bad. I mean, it's really nice quality. So this is what you're going to basically have on your shelf for Outgunned, and then there's one more, the pulp kind of temple rating version is coming. So they're going to keep adding to it, and it's good to see that support. It came up quite quickly, so I wanted to see what this was like before looking at that. That's the one thing. Maybe they are they're very prolific, and they produce high quality stuff, but things are getting a little bit too close together. They need to fulfill something, have people playing it, and then support it. But it's still good to see that it's getting supported quickly, but just maybe a little too quickly for people to make a decision about if this is going to be on their table or not. Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, none of that, the logistics and material costs and all the production costs now have to be terrifying. So they're doing a great job. They're getting things, out in very, very quickly. Things are coming out. Everything looks good. There hasn't been, big mistakes. No mistakes in the order. Everything, that was part of the pledge was in there. So, yeah, Two Little Mice. Good job. Always like to see you guys doing more stuff. So yeah, this is two very different games. And I guess like what Lost Compass, their first game, is even more different. I guess in English, right, is even more different than that. So they've got quite a range now. And so I'll put a link to the source book for their next kind of adventure, the next genre for Outgunned, and I'm going to see if I can get some people to to play an action movie with me on the table. But thank you for watching. And this is everything. I'm sure this is way too long and way too much. I should maybe chapter this so we can jump you through the things you actually want to see. But if you scrubbed ahead to this, thank you for getting this far, watching or scrubbing. And this I'm sure it's going to be retail now that everyone is getting their pledges. So it'll be probably available on their site as well as other retail shops if this looks interesting. And I'm probably a lot of these sorts of things. I don't remember, maybe like the coins would be exclusive, but I think everything else is probably going to be available through their web store. So I'll put a link to that as well. So thank you for joining me. This was Outgunned, the Action Hero Pledge. And yeah, if you enjoy what we're doing, give us a like on the video and subscribe to get notified when new videos come out. We do actual plays and our weekly, which is kind of our news roundup, talking about what's in crowdfunding and what's happening in the tabletop industry, board games, war games, tabletop roleplay. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. So Upturned Table on social media, and see you next time. Goodbye.